Look, I have so much to say about Season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen that I legit do not know if I'll be able to articulate all of it in this video. In fact, I probably won't. Because what we have been witnessing for the past few weeks is truly, and without a doubt, generational. We have been blessed week after week after week with full-length episodes of nearly non-stop action. And I'm not talking about any kind of action. These are extremely high-quality cinematic level episodes that will consistently leave you in awe. This season has been so good. By all definitions, the team working on Season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen is creating history, and this is despite all of the production issues that the season has been facing, because at the end of the day, we cannot ignore the elephant in the room. Over the past few weeks, many animators working on Jujutsu Kaisen came out to express their frustration with the overwhelming timeline given to them and the atrocious working conditions that they are making the show under at MAPPA. This of course led to internal production problems in the company, whose effects can be noticed every now and then in some of the episodes, with episode 17 being the one with the most blatant issues, as I'm sure many of you have already noticed or heard. But the point I'm trying to make is that in spite of all of this, the team has been consistently pushing out absolute masterpieces of cinema with outstanding animations, music, choreography, and storytelling that goes really hard. As a testament to what I said, episode 17, the one with all of the production issues, is still arguably one of the greatest animated episodes of all time, with 18 minutes of high-paced action, even though it suffered from most of the aforementioned production meltdowns of the company. With that being said, one of the biggest things that Season 2 does, and the reason I'm making this video, is the fact that it establishes just how insanely powerful and dangerous Ryōmen Sukuna is. And I'm not just talking about conventional power and strength here. This man is a fucking genius, and I mean that in every sense of the word. Let me take you back to episode 15, this scene in front of us. This is where the realization hit me and I understood just what we are really dealing with right here. So, we've got these two girls, I forgot their names, I think it's Mimiko and Nanako. Regardless, they're basically just Suguru Geto's goons. The girls return to Sukuna one of his fingers and then ask him to kill Kenjaku in exchange for another one. After which Sukuna chops off Mimiko's head, because of course he doesn't give a damn. Then proceeds to kill the other one when she brandishes her phone to use her technique. And look what happens now. By the way, keep in mind, Sukuna lived 1,000 years ago. He grabs the smartphone and says, a cell phone. He probably saw it before during his time inside Itadori. And then he immediately recognizes that her technique is related to what he calls the picture function of the phone, which obviously he's talking about the camera here. Now, ignore the fact that he uses a little bit of primitive terminologies to describe the device since he doesn't know the exact words. The mind-blowing part is that he correctly understands the underlying concepts to begin with. If you don't really see just how impressive this is, remember, this guy lived 1,000 years ago. Now imagine putting a human from 1,000 years ago in our world today for a few weeks. When he was first alive, society was completely different than what it looks like today. Just take a moment and think about how the world looked like during his time 1,000 years in past. And I'm not just talking about Japan, but anywhere in the world. Human civilizations were vastly different than ours today. They didn't have modern sewage, they didn't have electricity, they didn't have engines, they didn't have any means of media communication. And despite that, this motherfucker holds a touchscreen phone. Keep in mind, this is a very new invention, probably, I believe it's like 2007, 2009. And then instantly manages to associate its properties with Nanako's technique. This is such a small detail that is so easy to miss, but is an amazing way to showcase just how smart Sukuna is. Also, it's not the first time we see Sukuna's incredible analysis at work. It was actually hinted at back all the way in season 1 when he first encounters Gojo, and within their first few exchanges, he begins to understand his infinity technique. He even talks about it. And obviously, Sukuna then does it again when he encounters Mahoraga and accurately surmises his abilities during their fight in episode 17. And man, what a fight that was. An absolute masterpiece of animation. Also, by the way, one of the animators responsible for episode 17 said that he could not find good pictures to reference for certain buildings in Shibuya, so he decided to destroy their own office at MAPPA instead, and apparently all of his colleagues found that hilarious, voicing their support, which honestly speaks volumes for the current morale and outlook of MAPPA's animators towards the company itself. And you know what, since I've been me-triding Sukuna this whole video, I might as well go the full length. Okay, wait. Guys, I did not mean that the way it sounded. I promise that came out the wrong. Come on, guys, you know what I mean. Like me trying, you know, just God damn, this is probably one of the gayest things I've said in my entire life, huh? Anyway, what I'm trying to get at is what takes place after Megumi summons Mahoraga, with specifically this scene right here. Once again showcasing just how intelligent this man is. Without knowing anything about the context of the situation, Sukuna immediately saves the blonde dipshit from Mahoraga. Mind you, as I said, he just arrived at the scene knowing nothing behind what is taking place beforehand. And the first thing he does is save a random loser from dying. I want you to take a moment to visualize in your mind the implications of what's going on here. Sukuna instantly saw the scene and recognized that something abnormal was taking place, so he snatched the blonde dipshit before Mahoraga could crush him, and the reason he did this is not out of the kindness of his heart, but rather to preserve everything in the area as it is, to keep the conditions and situation under control until his suspicions are cleared, after which he can proceed based on the results from there onwards. And he does all of this almost instinctually within fractions of a second. And what's crazy is that this guess was actually correct, because had Mahoraga killed the blonde dipshit, Megumi would have died as well, and that would have been incredibly bad for Sukuna for many reasons that are far beyond the scope of this video. You can even see once he's done with Mahoraga, he walks past the blonde shitter and just cuts him in half on the way to pick up Megumi. It is this unbelievable level of rapid analysis and situational awareness that Sukuna has, which makes him both such an amazing character and such a dangerous opponent to face. Another major development in this season is us watching Itadori Yuji being driven to the brink. First having to deal with Satoru Gojo getting sealed by Kenjaku, and then the malicious gift that Sukuna left for Itadori, because keep in mind that this whole time when Sukuna was destroying Shibuya and killing all of its inhabitants, Yuji was also there watching it unfold. And the moment his consciousness snaps back, he is instantaneously hit with all of the horror and atrocities that Sukuna committed using his body. Remember Itadori's motivations. This is a character that wants to save others. A character that wants to die a meaningful death surrounded by people who love him, and within a single night, Sukuna mercilessly slaughtered thousands of people and caused irrevocable damage by leveling all of Shibuya into the ground. And Yuji could do nothing but watch all of those crimes, all of that destruction. And since I'm on the topic of destruction, this shot right here does an absolutely fantastic job of showcasing the true magnitude of what took place. Honestly, when I first saw this view, I took a step back to think about it, because this dark crater reminds me a lot of what countries at war look like from space. In case you haven't seen it before, when a country is at war or being invaded, all of the power grid lines and electricity sources get destroyed and a large chunk of the population flees the land. So instead of the glittering and glowing lights you would expect to see, you end up with a large dark empty spot on the map, as if the earth was swallowed whole. It is an eerie and miserable sight, and that is precisely what the animators are trying to capture here with what Sukuna did. What Itadori has to now live with. And to add insult to injury, Itadori's encounter with Mahito only exacerbates his mental downfall, as he watches two of the closest people to him get killed by the latter, leaving Itadori broken and dejected. Until he is saved by his brother, the absolute legend Todo, which then kickstarts one of the best animated action sequences in terms of choreography of all time, which, by the way, lasts for 2 consecutive, practically uninterrupted episodes. I repeat, the fight lasts for 2 episodes full of fast-paced action to the brim. Holy shit, the team behind Jujutsu Kaisen are gods. These people are not human. Well, actually they are, and they are working extremely hard to get out these episodes weekly at such a caliber of quality, but you get what I'm trying to say. Look, Jujutsu Kaisen, it's amazing. And is this going to be the last time I make a video on this anime? Hell nah. I was initially going to wait until the season ends so that I may make a full-length video essay on this show, but after seeing this legendary I am you scene from Yuji at the end of episode 21, I knew I gotta get on this shit, man. This anime is incredible and I love every second of it. And hey, before some loser goes and tells me
this story is so trash, shonen anime.
Shut the hell up, bruh. We get it. It ain't Vinland Saga or Vagabond in terms of writing, but the story is still very solid for what it's trying to do, and the show itself is a joy to watch. Currently this season, Frieren has been my favorite show, and make no mistake, I'll be making a video on that when the season ends. But honestly, Jujutsu Kaisen has been going so hard lately that I needed to talk about it. At any rate, that's it from me for now. I've got a lot of work to finish and many more videos to work on. So until then, thank you for watching and take care.